All right, guys, it's time for another marketplace deal. I've been keeping my eye out for a set of tip-ups, or traps that we call them up here in Maine, for ice fishing. Been trying to find a cheap set of maybe older traps, Moosehead, Thompson, Allagash, any of those old traps like that that people don't really realize what they are or what they're worth. And I finally found a set, actually two sets. Comes with an auger, comes with a basket, and a bait bucket, all for 150 bucks. So we're gonna go see what kind of shape they're in. My plan is to buy these, fix them up, clean them up, sell them, and flip them for some profit. And I think I can make some money on these traps. So let's go see what we got. Let's see if we can restore these old things, see how bad they are, if they even need to be restored. I got two full sets of traps here. I got a pack basket, this bucket, which I'll probably keep. Take this off, nice big bucket there, and an old Jiffy auger. These are, well, these taller ones here are actually old Moosehead traps, and these smaller ones are Thompsons. And I believe these are pretty popular in the 80s. You know, they appear to look a lot like jack traps, so I'd assume that that's kind of what jack traps were modeled after. And they were made right here in Maine. And I think the same guy made these, I think where it says like Moosehead on the bigger ones, Thompsons on the smaller ones, that was sort of the model. They're still really good traps, and people still really like these, and I think there's quite a bit of value to them still. I paid $150 for all this stuff. I tried to talk them down a little bit, they wouldn't do it. I didn't want the auger, I still don't want it. I got away from gas augers years ago. It was kind of a package deal, so we'll look at these. I think I'm gonna refinish all these and like redo them all and spruce them up and hopefully make some money. You know, if you go on Jack Trap's website or Heritage Traps, one trap, you know, a nice quality trap, one of these is over $50. So, I mean, if you add it up here, I mean, granted these are used, so they're a little beat up here and there. But if I tinker with them a little bit, maybe replace some pieces or whatever, maybe we can get, you know, 30 bucks a piece or something like that. I don't even know. This auger, I have no idea what this is worth. It's an old model 76, and I didn't see it run, but the guy had it running the day before. He sent me a video of it, so let's hope it does run. I think if I clean it up a little bit, you can get anywhere from 50 to 100 bucks, and I'd be happy with 50 at this point. I just want to get rid of it. I don't even want to hold on to it. Yeah, but anyways, let's go look at this auger and make sure. Let's just try to start it. We'll clean it up. I'm gonna post this on Facebook ASAP because I want to get rid of this thing. The longer you hold on to gas engines, the worse off you are. So let's go see if we can get her going. Let's fire it up and see if we can blow our eardrums out. I guess we do that. I guess that's probably choke. I don't know. I'll probably open this vent up. Let's just see, I guess. Hey. Maybe that's choke. Just have to give her a little gas. Good enough. Let's clean it up and sell this thing. Well, that definitely looks better. Get me another $5 more. Alright, so we got that auger all cleaned up and already posted on Marketplace. Let's check out some of these traps. We'll start with the smaller Thompsons here. So I'm going to go through one by one. I'm going to strip the reels off. I'm going to break down each trap. I'm going to figure out which one of these, like this one right here, I'm going to have to replace the center mast here. It's actually pretty straight, but when it closes up, it's like way off kilter, and maybe just that bolt in here is bent, and that's why it's like not closing straight. You can see it's tight up here, not down here. So I'm gonna take them all apart, go through everything, and just try to do the best I can do to get these things as straight and working as well as possible. The other thing, almost all of these traps the guy put like fly line on them, so I'm gonna take that off. We'll reline them all and we get them working. This one needs a new mast. So you can see how this wood's actually curved. Look down here on the bottom, probably just from being wet and then drying. I don't think these ever had any sort of finish on them to protect them. I don't know what kind of wood that is. It might be birch, could be maple, I'm not sure. I did find a piece here in my scrap pile that I think is maybe birch or maple. All right, check out this one. Completely crooked. 100% need to cut a new mast for one of these and one of the moose head traps, the longer ones. Alright, so I got these things sanded up about as good as I can get them. I could spend way more time on them, but I'm not gonna. Mostly just getting a lot of the grime and grease and stuff off from them. And they're pretty good. I mean, you can still see it's got some darkness there, but we're gonna stain these and you're not even gonna be able to really tell. I'm gonna use this golden oak, Minwax golden oak color. Alright, so we got all those stained. You can see how they came out. I actually like how they came out quite a bit. They look pretty good. I think it came out pretty good. No tripper tube on it yet. I got to get some stainless staples and redo a couple of those, but let those dry, and then tomorrow we'll put a coat of poly on them and we can put them back together. Alright, so I've moved to the basement, and what I'm going to do now is, if you guys saw the earlier part of the video, all these traps, I mean, they were pretty faded, you could barely read some of them, but they said the name right on the mast of the trap above the flag holder. So these ones are the Thompsons. So it looked like they had just used an old rubber stamp and stamped them in there. So that's what I'm going to do here. I got this little small stamp kit. It pretty much looks like the exact same font. And I'm just going to stamp them in there, and then we'll poly over it so the name will still be on the traps. This is what we're going to use to basically put a protective barrier around these traps. This is a spar urethane. I've used this before on traps and it works really, really well. And I usually do 2 to 3 coats of this, and I got the clear gloss, so it'll make a nice shiny gloss cover over it. So we'll see what it looks like on these traps. Next day here, these are all dry. I think they came out pretty good. We're just I'm gonna give them a light sanding. That first coat really just kind of soaks in, and it's a little bit like gritty feeling. We just want to kind of smooth out that poly a little bit, put one more coat on, and it should be pretty smooth and glossy. So Alright, so this is where I potentially ruin these traps. I need to put another staple here on this tripper tube. I got a staple gun. Stainless staples. Put it right there where the other one used to be. Center it. Hey, it worked! This is going to be a messy job, but I'm going to go ahead and grease up all these reels. I just got a low temp grease here. We're going to put a little bit in each spool. Keep it from corroding, keep it from seizing up this winter. We'll just give her a couple pumps. Or one pump. That should be good. As I'm putting these together, I just remembered, I forgot to mention that I sold the auger. I had it listed for 2 days on Facebook. Sold it, and I sold it for 75 bucks. So I think that was a pretty good deal. I would have taken 50, but I got 75 for it, so I'm happy. We should be able to make some money back on these traps. Just gonna cost us blood, sweat, and tears. There's a full trap right there, all ready to go. Freshly greased reel. Refinished, ready to rip. Make sure she's gonna go off. Yep, perfect. All right, we got them all done. Man, these things look like $1 million bucks. I don't know how old these things are. Probably 30 to 40 years old, maybe. And now they should last another 30 to 40 years, hopefully. So this set's all done, these Thompsons. I think I already got them sold. My buddy's gonna buy them from me. I'm not gonna put new line on those because he has some line he's gonna put on there. I've already taken apart all of the bigger moose head traps. We're gonna sand all those down and basically do the same process as we did here. The reels on these might need a little bit more attention, and I'm also gonna replace the flags on these so they all match. And we're gonna do something with this pack basket, and we'll sell it with the skimmer, the pack basket, and the traps, and hopefully get a good chunk for that. So I'm gonna tackle this basket here. It's in actually really good shape, and if you look at the bottom, it says Wilderness Baskets, Monroe, Maine. I don't think that they're in business anymore, but it was made right here in Maine, same as the traps. So we're gonna just kind of clean it up a little bit, and then I'm gonna put some I'm just gonna oil it to kind of preserve it a little bit better. Oil, linseed oil, that's what we're gonna put on this thing. I'm just gonna do one coat inside and out. All right, so brushing that stuff on sucks. I'm gonna run it through a spray bottle here. All right, so I've gone through these reels. Some of them were kind of bent and beat up. I straightened them all out, fixed anything that was wrong with them, cleaned them up a little bit, and now I'm gonna put some new line on them. And I'm just gonna use this Woodstock tip-up line here, and we're gonna wind it right on. The best way to do this is to put it right in your drill. Just like that. Full spool. One thing you want to do, and now I don't know exactly how much line I just put on there, but you want to make sure that you leave a lot of extra room here. You don't want to fill this thing right up, because that wound that on pretty tight. I kept some pressure on there, but what's going to happen is when you start using this, it might not wind on as tight, and you're going to get ice and stuff built up in there. It's going to be a looser wrap, so it's not going to fit as tightly on the reel. So you want to make sure you have some extra space in there. Some of these are actually pretty good. Probably had been replaced, like this one. This one's definitely probably original. You can see how faded it is, and this one's faded too and ripped. So I'm just going to go ahead and change them all, and we're going to switch over to an orange color. It's just felt. I'm going to cut them out and glue them on, and should be able to get rid of these things. Alright, these came out pretty sweet. Brand new flags. Looking pretty good. I guess we'll go put the straps back on that basket and get everything together and put this stuff on Marketplace, see if anybody wants it. Alright, so the basket came out really nice. Got a nice protective coating on there, it's nice and dry. We'll get these straps put back on if we can figure this out. Looking good. Alright, here we go. Just took some pictures. Got them all done. Basket's looking nice. Here we go. Let's see what we can get. I'm gonna try to get at least 200 bucks out of these. If I can't, that's fine. We'll see what I can get. I might list them for 250 at first. Ice fishing season's coming right up here, so people are probably eager to get some traps. You know, the basket's probably worth, I don't know, $20-30 or so. Traps came out super nice. They all work. I made sure, went through them all, made sure they all work. Flags are all nice on there. Got a full spool of line. A lot of times when you buy traps, they won't even come with line on them, so it's a pretty good deal if they're completely spooled up with fresh line for the season. So anyway, I'm gonna go post these and I'll let you guys know what happens. Alright guys, so I listed those traps yesterday, and within a few hours I already had them sold. They didn't even last 24 hours on Facebook Marketplace. I sold them for $250 with the basket. The guy was pumped. He showed up and he's like, man, this is a steal. This is a good deal for these. I thought it was fairly expensive for old traps like that, but you know, they were super nice now. I refinished them all and everything. Alright, so let's talk about what you guys probably really want to know. How much did we make on all this stuff? So if you guys remember, I paid for the traps, the auger, and the basket for $150 for all that stuff. I did have to spend some money on some of the supplies that I got. I had to buy some urethane because mine had dried up. I had to buy a stamp kit, and I didn't have to buy any hardware. I actually was able to reuse all the stuff that was on those traps and straighten it out, so I didn't have to buy any of that stuff. Stainless hardware is super expensive. I did put some line on the traps. I had a bunch of it around, but we'll figure that into it as well. And just some paint brushes and a little bit of sandpaper. So in total, I spent about $215 on everything, buying the traps and all the supplies I needed to refinish them. I sold the auger within a day or two of posting it for $75. I sold the Thompson traps, the shorter ones, to one of my buddies that wanted them. I sold those to him for $250. And then I sold the basket with the moose head traps and the skimmer to another guy for $250. So in total, we sold all that stuff for $575. So that puts us at a profit of $360, just over $350 profit for all that stuff. I think that's pretty good for old traps that are 30 plus years old. I didn't figure my time and stuff into all this. It did take a very long time to do all this stuff. One or 2 days to take apart the stuff and sand it all, stain it, let that dry for a day, and then put a coat of poly on it, let that dry for a day, and then come back and put the final coat on. So 3 to 4 days just messing with refinishing the traps. Figure that times 2 because we did it 2 times. I got kind of sick of it, but I think it was worth it. We made a little bit of money. Figured this video might be kind of cool for you guys to check out. If you guys have some old traps kicking around at your place, maybe you will want to refinish them, sell them, or maybe you just want to refinish them for yourself. Anyways, guys, I hope you guys liked the video. Let me know what you think of the traps, how you think they came out, and we'll catch you guys in the next video. Ice fishing season's coming up soon, so stay tuned. Subscribe if you haven't already. Peace.